Hey, welcome to the Rowing Doc. My name is Amanda Painter. I'm a physical therapist and I'm a rowing coach. And today I'm going to go over what's going on if you might be getting any numbness or tingling or things down your arm when you're rowing. First off, one of the things that might be happening is that you're death gripping the handle. So if I'm rowing and I like hardcore kind of death grip this handle, I'm using muscles that I don't really need to use. It might lead to some tendonitis in the elbow or like tennis elbow or golfer's elbow type of things. Or it could just kind of make it so that your nerves get aggravated. So first thing you want to check is, are you death gripping this thing? If you are, I want you to try just kind of relaxing it. I actually, when I row, I'll put my thumb, you can do it above, below, there's different techniques for it. I have small hands, so sometimes I come up above, or I usually mix it up if I'm rowing for a long time. But if I pretty much keep it where it's like that, I'm not really gripping around. My pinkies come off over the edge. You want to kind of be towards the shoulders. If I'm really far in here, I'm using muscles here that might be impinging on the brachial plexus. So essentially you've got nerves that come out of your neck, go down through the armpit and into your arm. And those are the nerves contribute to us being able to use our muscles. So they're telling us how to use things. They're giving us the sensations, the feelings that we get in our hands and our arms, and that's all going through here. So if I've got my hands really close together, I might be pinching in on that area and that might be contributing. So really pay attention to what's happening at your hand level. Next is, when I'm in this position, am I going really far out or am I pulling straight back? Now, ideally you want to kind of pull straight back, but if you're going far out, you might actually be kind of stretching some of the nerves a little bit into a position that they don't like. It's called neurosensitivity. So sometimes in general, our nerves go through that area I talked about, through the armpit and down into the arm, and they're going through muscles and tissues and things. And if our body gets used to them not moving as smoothly, they get more aggravated, or there's an increased neurosensitivity. And when we go into funky positions, sometimes they get stressed and they don't want to move as well as they normally do. So if you're doing a repetitive motion like rowing is, and you're constantly going into a position that one of the nerves might get aggravated in, that could contribute to some of the symptoms that you get in your arm. Another thing to pay attention to is when I'm going, are my wrists nice and neutral? If I'm coming and I'm going either pulling really high up and I'm in this bent position, so my arm right now, I just got a little bit of pulling, almost tingly, but not quite, because it doesn't like that. It's that same concept I was just talking about with that neurosensitivity. It's just, that's an intense position for my hands. And my body doesn't like that. My nerves aren't happy in that position. So if I'm constantly doing that, yeah, I'm gonna get some tingling in my arms after 10 minutes, maybe even 3 minutes, to be honest. So that's one of the things. Sometimes people will come with their elbows out and then their hands are still there, so it turns into kind of this position. We call it deviation. And when you're in that position, it does a similar concept. For me, I don't get aggravated in that, but some of you might. So really watch what's happening at your wrist. Am I going down? Am I going up? Am I going in, out? What's happening there? You really want to try and keep this in a nice neutral position throughout your entire stroke. So when I'm here, if my hands are too far in, I'm going to go into that deviation. If my hands are nice in that normal position, my wrist is nice and neutral throughout my entire stroke. I'm not death gripping, it's nice and relaxed, and my wrist honestly almost never changes. So that's something that you can think about. Those are some reasons that you might get some tingling or numbness or things in your arms or your hands or your fingers when you're rowing. So I hope that helps. In another video, I'll go over some things that you can do to actually try and alleviate some of it, and some things if you're bugging the elbow and the muscles in the forearm type of thing. But those are some of the causes and some things that you can pay attention to on the machine to see if maybe changing some of those habits or things that we're doing and we don't realize it, and see if just making those quick changes makes a change in your symptoms. So I hope that helps. If it did, please feel free to comment below. If you've got questions, feel free to let me know, and happy rowing.